How is everyone doing today? It is October 23rd of 2021, and we are on backlog with some of the reviews and stuff that we really wanted to pull off this year. So I'm going to try to do a quick relay on about 5 different peppers to show everybody some of the stuff that we grew in our yard. All of these peppers came from our yard except for one of them, and Angel will try one out. I'm not going to try these on camera just because I don't really have a lot of taste right now, and several of these are pretty hot. I'm a big wimp on heat, but I would like to shout them out and kind of hopefully intrigue you into taking a look at some of these other things. This is the first one that I'm going to go through is the 5-color pepper, also known as the Chinese 5-color. It does indeed come from China, I believe, as a cross that was a long time ago. A lot of times with ornamental peppers, this one actually has 5 different colors. Right here in the video, I will probably be including a quick little clip of the neighbor's plant at the end of July so that you guys can see some of the different colors on it and what one of the plants look like growing good.
I like to sing, dance, pretend, and I like to have fun. Let's go over here. Just you and me. Come on. I just wanted to say,
Alright, so this is just the ones that we saved that looked off the best pods in order to save seeds from. It's the Chinese 5-color. We really like these. They dry really well. They provide about 30 to 50,000 Scoville, so they can be pretty hot, but dried they lighten up a little bit. We like crushing maybe onto a slice or to a pizza, maybe dropping it into a ramen noodle if you're not feeling well. It kind of clears your sinuses. Most of the time the ornamental peppers have a bad flavor. They have a cool looking plant but not that great of a flavor. We really like these. It almost has that Midwest kind of flavor to it, almost like you would find in a Cayenne or something a little more pungent. They do have a thunder heat. It is a lingering heat. If you eat these, they can get really hot. They start off purple, then they start getting cream colored. Sometimes they start off cream colored and start getting yellow. Sometimes they start off yellow and start getting orange. But the process goes from purple to cream to yellow to orange to red, and that's the 5 colors on the 5-color pepper. Once you got the good pods off that are starting to red, even if you pull the pods off in different colors, they'll redden out, so you kind of want to watch out for that. You might have viable seeds if you save from a brand new purple pod that reddens on the counter, because they'll all turn red eventually when they ripen. But it's the Chinese 5-color pepper, the 5-color. Really like saving the dried pods on these. The next one I'll show you guys is some of our dried Buena Mulata. And I think somewhere around here, I won't look for it right now, we have some more of these kind of fresh. A super productive plant with a pretty rich history. Horace Pippin? I want to believe that the seeds came from that, but it's the Buena Mulata pepper. We also call it, over here we've been calling it the purple Cayenne. It's about 30 to 50,000 Scoville units. One thing I will say about this is the pods don't dry really well. You want to make sure they're red on the vine, maybe not even getting close to red and pull them off yet. Make sure they're red, and then pull them off and then try to get them dry as soon as possible. We've noticed a lot of rot in drying with these. When you pickle them, they also turn a white colored. And these are almost like little firecrackers. They do have some of the thunder lingering heat, but it's a really sharp, for 30,000, maybe even 10 to 20,000 when they're purple. We gave some to some Hispanic neighbors recently, and their kid came back and said his dad said the peppers weren't hot. And Angel tried one out in the yard, and sure enough, it was super hot. You know what I mean? Even purple and light in color. So they might even be like, really low heat when they're purple, but when they red out, man, they're probably a full 50, 60,000 Scoville units. A really productive alternate to a cayenne pepper plant. The third type I'm going to show you guys is a cross that we've been growing in our yard, and these ones are kind of drying, and I probably need to save seeds on these pretty soon. These ones came from our yard. This one we are calling the Mary Curry cross, and it comes from a gardener up in Canada that had shared the seeds with another gardener in Canada who had shared some of the seeds with us. It is the cross between a Pimento and a Pablano, and it's also been grown up in Canada, which is obviously frozen north colder, so it tolerated cold for us the first year that we grew it, and as we've grown it the past 1 or 2 more years, it's produced this really it's probably hard to tell. The reason we're having trouble drying these is because the walls inside are super thick. For a cooking pepper, that's hard to compete. This is it's just got a really good sweet pepper flavor to it, and from a Pablano and a Pimento is both a couple good genetics to be crossed with. I'm not sure if it happened on accident or on purpose, but we call it the Mary Curry cross, and it is a cross between a Pablano and a Pimento. Okay, and the next one was our hottest pepper that we grew this year, and it is the Scotch Bonnet. And some of these, a lot of these are yellowed out, so we're probably going to test and save seeds on a huge amount of these. Some of these are still green. We will go ahead and probably pull these aside. The Scotch Bonnet ranges at about 200,000, maybe 150 to 200,000. A Habanero is around 200,000 Scoville units. A lot of times these are referred to as a tropical Habanero. They do a little bit better in a more humid, warmer region than the Habaneros, say, would do for us in a dry desert region. The Habaneros grow way better for us. All hot peppers that we've grown, it takes longer to germinate the seeds, it takes longer to grow the plants, it takes longer for production. So this is what came off of the plant, our only harvest from it at the very tail end before we got our last cold snap. But it's about 150, 200,000 Scoville units. It might drop down to 100,000 sometimes. It's known as the tropical Habanero, and used in a lot of South American cuisines and foods. So a really excellent pepper. I haven't really tried many of these raw, but I know one of these pods right here in a single solitary jam of some sort would be really good. And if you are a hot pepper fan, this one right here would be an excellent to grow, especially if you're in a more humid region. If you had the choice between the two, the Habanero or this one, I would say it would depend on your grow zone. But if you've never grown this one, I would give it a shot because it does have a unique flavor, and probably more comparable to an ají, which is a fruity tasting type of pepper, than it would a Habanero, which is more of the salsa flavored Midwest, Southwest kind of traditional flavors that a lot of peppers in the US that are grown commercially. But this is the yellow Scotch Bonnet. Alright, and so we have one more that we wanted to show you guys, and I will go ahead and take the camera and let Angel sit down and give it a try. She said that she wanted to try one because we haven't had one yet, fresh, that I know of, and it's a really unique type. So I'll talk about it while she gives it a try, and I'll catch you guys in just a second. Alright, so moral of the story is on this one that it is not a Manzano. So we just found that out. Angel said it's pretty spicy. Let me see here real quick. It's got some spice to it, but it's really dumbed down. I believe this is seeds that we had shared, maybe from, or that they had gotten from somewhere else. It might be a cherry bomb, but they just seem, they're not round enough for the cherry bomb. It might be one that I think our local market, our local nursery has for sale as the hot red cherry. So kind of disappointing. It does have a good sweet flavor to it. It'll make a good cooking pepper. We'll be pickling these ones probably, but we won't be saving the seeds. It doesn't have the black seed on it, but I do believe we have tons of those seeds left. So one of Angel's co-workers, it was her favorite type of pepper, a Hispanic lady, and so she saved some seeds from some that she had gotten from somewhere and shared them with us. And when the baggie arrived with the seeds in it, it had probably a couple hundred seeds. So we tried some of the plants and we sent some of the plants off. We weren't sure how anybody done with them. We thought that these were it, especially because the stem. At the beginning of this, you probably heard me say I was like 95% sure. Now I'm like 99% sure it's not a Manzano, unless it was a really, really rare. Manzanos have a problem crossing with other cultivars. They usually don't go into their areas easily. They can cross, but not easily. So a Capsicum annum and a Capsicum baccatum and a Capsicum pubescens, you know, next to each other might be a good way to make sure you have true to types a lot more often, especially when you cluster garden with us. We really don't care about crosses. Our whole goal is to see something unique, and this is a unique view from us. Even if it's a disappointment, it's still an eye-opener on a different regard. I haven't seen many stems on the peppers that grow like that.
No, I'm thinking it might be what our nursery calls the red hot cherry. Ours, the ones that we grow, like the cherry bomb, they're more cherry shaped and rounder and redder. But we know that there's another one out there called the red hot cherry that's just a little bit different. This is sweet and spicy, and so I'm guessing maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, and the Manzano's known to dip into the cold and be more of a high altitude, so it won't survive a frost, but it can go that way quite a bit. So our plant, and it takes a lot longer to produce. A lot of times they call the pepper plants pepper trees because of the way that they can kind of get woody and grow their growth habits. They grow a monster plant, so I think doubling them up in a 5-gallon bucket really suppressed its growth, plus it needs a little bit of a longer season. So we're still on the quest to grow this in our yard. Got plenty of seeds left to give a try on it. So Manzano pepper, there's two kinds that are major. One's the orange Manzano, which is the most popular one that you'll see the most often. The other Manzano pepper is the red one, and it's usually referred to as the large red Manzano. That one's actually rarer to come across. So if you're looking into Manzano seeds and you see a lot of orange Manzano, red Manzano, things like that in there, maybe even I think online a yellow one that they've come out with. The red one is the original one, and it's the one that's the hardest to find the seeds from. But we thought this was a Manzano. It's probably red hot cherry that they sell at our local nursery, or maybe some sort of crazy cross from a cherry bomb. So that's the 5th kind of pepper. So unknown type, Buena Mulata, Mary Curry Cross, Chinese 5-color, and
Yellow
Scotch Bonnet. So 5 more kinds of peppers that we wanted to take a look at and show everybody firsthand. Really, really excellent stuff. This one's actually pretty low in heat. These ones actually probably hit about 10 or 15, and it's a little bit of a thunder pungent, but it's not too bad. So I'd say these ones are around jalapeno heat.
Yeah.
About 200,000 Scoville units, about 30 to 50, probably closer to 50, about 30 to 50, probably closer to 40. And this one right here, I just had a piece. I didn't need any milk or any orange juice.
Really low.
So it's really, really low. So I'll probably try to find out what kind this one was. It seems like it's going to make a really good cooking pepper.
Yeah.
So if we make meatloaf or something else like that, we might throw loose in there. But UT Angel and Kiddo, October 23rd of 2021, and 5 more unique peppers to show you guys.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching.
So how's everyone doing today? I want to find out what you guys think about this. Sorry the yard looks kind of scary right now. We decided not to dismantle it till after Halloween because it kind of provides a spooky little theme back here for us. This is everything devastated, but I wanted to show you guys something real quick. This is the Manzano plants. They got super, super huge. They had flowers that were really, really similar to
Buena Mulata, or
eggplant flowers. They were really, really soft flowers. We realized we need to do single bucket this one. It's going to grow a tree-like plant for the Manzano. This is our 3rd year in a row unsuccessfully getting Manzano. So we just need a longer season, so maybe I need to start them indoors early. But out of all the plants, all decimated, see how they all dried and kind of died out? You can see. Look at this Manzano one right here. It's still got some green spots in a couple of these right here. And I want to know what you guys think about this. I probably won't show an update on it later on in the future unless somebody asks, but go ahead and give it a shot. I think I could come clear up here, see where it's dying back, snag that. I'll take all the leaf nodes off of it because they're pretty much worthless. They'll only hurt the plant. Come down. A lot of the hormones for rooting will be in the nodes, the leaf node areas right here. So I'll come down, but I don't want to come down. I don't want any of the dead chase in there. Get it at a 35-degree angle. That wasn't very smooth, so I'll probably take it inside and trim it with a little pair of scissors, but this is a Manzano. This is a Manzano stick that just went through a cold snap and still has some green on it. Actually, I'm going to take this one down a little bit more. If you catch too many spots where it traces, you want an angle here. This is where the roots, I don't like the hollowing out of that too much, so I'm going to come down a little bit more. But I'll take this inside, maybe find a bottle and stick it in there and get some decent light on just the stem, and we'll see if we can get some of this new growth started. So this is one that has been frozen for a week. For like a week straight, this plant's been frozen. The Manzano's from a high altitude, so it should, and the quest for Manzano continues. So thought I'd show you guys that. We'll see how it turns out. Love you guys.